What is up, everyone? Razlig signing on. Let us discuss what's happening to Vitaly right now. It has nothing to do with legality or actual harm, it's about people posturing, people trying to act morally superior, pointing fingers at someone who doesn't behave the way they think people should behave in public. This is performative outrage, plain and simple. Vitaly is being accused of harassment, theft, disturbing the peace, whatever label people can throw at him. But when you actually stop, take a breath, and watch what happened, not just some clipped-up highlight reel designed to rile you up, you'll realize most of what he's being accused of is either wildly exaggerated or just not criminal in any meaningful sense. Let's talk about the legal side first, since people love to throw around charges like they're expert prosecutors. He's being hit with charges like unjust vexation, attempted theft, and theft, as if he's some mastermind criminal. Do you know what unjust vexation means? It literally means he annoyed someone. That's it. In the Philippines, that's a chargeable offense. You can literally get in trouble for irritating someone in public. That's the level we're dealing with here. Not assault. Not robbery. Not violence. Not even actual theft with malicious intent, just being irritating in a setting where people weren't used to the energy. Does that mean it was smart? No. But are we seriously pretending he's some dangerous individual over this? That's nonsense. That's posturing. It's people who want to feel like they're on the right side of a moral line, when in reality, all they're doing is participating in a public dogpile. Here's the real problem: people are obsessed with feeling morally superior. They see someone with a huge following, someone loud, someone edgy, and they instinctively want to tear that person down. They see a guy who's not afraid to make people uncomfortable, and they convince themselves they're doing the right thing by canceling him. But they're not standing up for the public. They're not protecting victims. They're just acting out some self-righteous fantasy. Look at me! I'm better than this guy because I don't make people uncomfortable in public. Yeah, congratulations. You also don't create content. You don't take risks. You don't put yourself out there at all. It's easy to look good when you're never exposed. Vitaly is out there streaming for hours at a time, live, no filter, no second takes. Everything is recorded, judged, replayed. Every moment is held up like evidence in a trial. But the people judging him? They never put themselves in that position. They never take risks, never step outside their perfectly curated online bubbles, never say anything unless they're sure it's 100% safe. That's not morality. That's cowardice disguised as virtue. And don't think I'm defending bad behavior just to do it. If Vitaly actually harmed someone, if there was proof of someone being genuinely victimized or endangered, I'd say so. But that's not what's happening here. What's happening is a guy who's known for pushing boundaries went to a different country, created high-energy content the way he always has, and suddenly the same people who ignored him before are now pretending to care because it gives them a sense of purpose. Let's talk about the so-called victims for a second. People are acting like he left a trail of destruction behind him. But there's almost no actual evidence of anyone filing serious complaints until after the internet made it viral. That's the power of manufactured outrage. People didn't see something and feel wronged, they saw a trending clip, got swept up in the reaction, and then decided to be offended. Meanwhile, no one wants to talk about the $20,000 he gave away. That's right. Vitaly gave over 20 grand directly to people on the ground. Locals. Individuals. People who needed it. That didn't make the clips. That didn't make the headlines. Why? Because it ruins the narrative. Because the second you show that this guy isn't pure evil, the outrage loses steam. It's easier to sell a villain than to admit there might be complexity in the story. The truth is that people don't want nuance. They want black and white. They want good guys and bad guys. Vitaly's not the good guy, so they paint him as the worst guy. But life doesn't work like that. Sometimes people are loud, chaotic, unpredictable, and they still have good in them. Sometimes the guy who yells on stream is also the guy who tips generously, gives money to families, and treats people with respect off camera. But none of that matters to people looking for their next outrage fix. And here's what makes it even more absurd: these people act like they're protecting the dignity of others, but they have no problem humiliating someone they disagree with. They mock him, take shots at his appearance, laugh at his situation, celebrate when he gets arrested, all while claiming the moral high ground. That's not justice. That's pettiness. That's spite, plain and simple. The legal system can do what it wants. If he broke a local law, he'll deal with it. But let's not act like this is some moral reckoning. This is internet spectacle. This is people pretending they care about ethics when really they just want someone to dump on for the week. This isn't accountability, this is content. The same way Vitaly made content, so do they. The difference? He owns it. He shows his face. He puts himself out there. They hide behind morality and pretend it's different. It's not. Everyone watching this needs to ask themselves, do you care about justice? Or do you just enjoy watching someone fall? Because if you're honest, it's probably the second one. You're not worried about the locals. You're not worried about theft. You're not worried about safety. You just want to feel better about yourself by tearing someone else down. That's what this entire outrage cycle is built on. Vitaly isn't perfect. He's brash, loud, reckless at times, no doubt. But he's not a monster. He's not evil. And he's sure as hell not the criminal people are making him out to be. If we judged everyone based on their worst 30 seconds caught on camera, no one would survive. And the people pretending to be above it all? They'd probably fall the hardest. So say what you want. Call him names. Celebrate if it makes you feel better. But don't lie to yourself and pretend you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not. You're doing it because it's easy, and because it feels good to tear someone else down, especially when you've never built anything yourself. That's the real difference. Vitaly built something. Maybe you don't like how he built it, maybe you don't like how he acts, but he showed up, put himself out there, and owned it. Can you say the same? If you like this content, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, drop a comment below. Razlug signing off.